Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today is the second half of my massive classic sci-fi book haul video. The first one I did this stack here, and now I'm going on to this stack. So, what did I get? I was very excited to find this one, first of all. We All Died at Breakaway Station by Richard C. Meredith. I have been looking for this book for a long time. I've always been intrigued by the title, and I tried to buy it online. I couldn't find it anywhere. They don't have it in an ebook. And so when I saw this on the bookshelf, I was like, we all died at Breakaway Station. And yeah, that's exactly how I said it. And the guy that works there was probably like, Anyway, so I have this now and I'm going to read it soon. What's it about? The officers of the Iwo Jima. Captain Absalom Bracer with, among other things, an artificial brain pan and synthetic eyes. Astrogation Officer Jean Gogwin, a lady with a plastic face. Weapons Officer Akin Darby and Communications Officer Miss Syanta. Both with assorted prosthetic parts. There's a lot of interesting words in a sentence. And the Pharsalis, a repetition with variations of the crew and of his sister ship. These two heavy battlecruiser starships were, in theory, protecting the cumbersome vast Rudolph Cragstone hospital ship returning to Earth with thousands of wounded in cold sleep. The brutally injured officers had been restored to temporary artificial life to do this job because no whole man or woman could be spared. And then Breakaway Station, a focal and vital link with Earth, was threatened. So I wonder, does everyone all die at Breakaway Station? Do not tell me in the comments. I will be mad if you spoil it for me, but I'm going to read this one soon. The second one I got was the Asriel Uprising by Alan Thompson. This book looks awesome. We have not one but two ladies with guns on the cover. Usually you just get the token one. So, what's this about? A decade after the Russians invaded, it was time for America to fight back. Devastated by a surprise attack that left its cities in radioactive ruins, America suffered under the iron heel of the Russian occupying forces. How are they occupying if they destroyed the... Anyway. Millions of the young and able were mercilessly slaughtered, and millions more were imprisoned in forced labor camps. The survivors, women and children, the old and infirm, fled to the hills to lick their wounds and keep the struggle alive. But now, 10 years later, the days of hiding are over. From the hills of New England to the Florida Gulf Coast, the forces of resistance are regrouping into a ragtag militia, armed with whatever they can make, salvage or steal. Led by the legendary rebel general known as Juanita, the people of America are rising again to take back their homeland. I'm super curious about this. It sounds like Red Dawn a bit. Yeah, but we'll see. This one is amazing. Juanita. This one, I couldn't not get this. So it's called The Bug Wars by Robert Asprin. He was the guy that also wrote, or is it Mirror Friend, Mirror Foe, I think, with George Takei. Where did that go? I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Okay, so I bought this because the cover is amazing. What's this freaking guy doing fighting this bug? The Tizen are fierce warriors, master strategists, and reptiles. My type. The enemy are savage conquerors, brilliant technicians, and insects. Neither has known defeat until the Bug Wars. Scales versus swarms in a cosmic battle for survival. If there are no humans in this book, I'm going to love it because I love books that don't have any humans. I think it's hilarious. So this book looks amazing. I don't know which books I want to read first. This is like my pile of ones that I'm like obsessed with and I really want to read. This one, David Bischoff and Christopher Lambton. Oh, another Christopher Lambton. The Seeker. Look at this cover. Laser books. Look at that guy. He's like so done with it. He's like, I'm done with this woman and this weird bug guy and the romance. Anyway. Middlefield is a small, sleepy Midwestern town, much like any other, until an alien spaceship crash lands in its midst. Terrified and hysterical, its citizens organize a frantic search for the escaping pilot. But the man who finds Trebar is Gordon Ames, the local minister. He looks like the sheriff. Maybe it's not him. At a time of personal crisis, when he is beginning to question his faith, Gordon's life is changed forever by the deep and moving friendship that grows between him and the strange being. Friendship, eh? But like Trebar's world, their friendship is doomed. So, I'm not sure what this cover has to do with the book at all, but we'll see. I really hope. Anyway. This book looks awesome. It's huge. I don't know if I'm ever going to read it. I will someday. But it's called Footprints of Thunder by James F. David. Look at that cover. It's amazing. The Return of the Dinosaurs. Why else would I buy this? When a freak natural phenomenon dissolves the boundaries between yesterday and today, the world is transformed into a patchwork mixture of the present and the distant past. Entire cities are replaced by primeval forests. Prehistoric monsters stalk modern city streets hunting for human prey. While ordinary men and women struggle to survive in this strange new world, the president and his advisors search for a way to undo the catastrophe. But the solution may be more devastating than the dinosaurs. I love this because it's a post-apocalyptic book with dinosaurs in it. Whoever, James David. It's a great idea. This cover, guys, Algis Budrys, some will not die. Clearly this man will never die. He's too cool. Too cool for school. I don't know why he's got bullets, that won't really fit that gun, but whatever. Founding father. The mob came for Brendetston, as he knew it must, and all that remained of the man who had unified the scattered remnants of the plague-stricken America was a smear of blood in the street. But Brendetston had planned beyond his death. Decades later, that's a good plan. Decades later, the rumor drifted in from the mountains, from the barren plains. Brendetston lives. The man who strove for power in the ruins knew that if it was true, Brendetston had to be found, to be taken power in the new regime, or to be killed. This time, for good. Yeah, okay. Looks like a cyberpunk post-apocalyptic. This one, The Armageddon Blues by Daniel Keyes Moran. This one looks cool. I always buy covers with, feisty ladies on the cover, too, because chances are they're main characters, hopefully. All the time in the world. There's a theme here. A lot of these are post-apocalyptic, or at least catastrophe city books. Catastrophe city? Whatever. Jalian is a silver-eyed huntress from 700 years in the future. Georges is over 200 years old. They have traveled from improbably distant places across the landscape of time to meet by chance on a California highway in the year of 1962. Now, as the 20th century turns towards its final troubled days, they have joined forces to achieve the nearly impossible, to stop a nuclear holocaust that has already happened. Vividly imagined and... Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Sounds cool. Another one. The Fall of Chronopolis by Barrington J. Bailey. The First and Last Days of the Chronotic Empire. This one has a cool cover. There is real time and there is potential time. By controlling the difference, the Chronotic Empire came into existence and maintained itself over 1,000 years of human history. Its time fleets, armadas of time-traveling fortresses, patrolled its temporal borders relentlessly, blotting out potential time deviations, erasing errors of history that might undermine the empire. But nevertheless, the empire's days were numbered, for somewhere in its own future was the century of the hegemony, its implacable enemy. Okay. Yeah, doesn't really tell you what it's about. Galactic War, I guess. Through time. Another post-apocalyptic one. Sterling E. Lanier, whatever. Hero's Journey. I like this because this man is just chilling out with this bear. He's like, hey man, do you know where the cave is? And the bear's like, yeah, it's just over there. A mission of terror. Per Hero Destine was a priest, a telepath, and a highly trained killer, together with his great riding moose and the young bear who was his friend. Oh, okay. He was on a mission that seemed beyond even his extraordinary powers, for this was 5,000 years after the Holocaust known as the Death, and the world was greatly changed. Now the evil Brotherhood of the Unclean was waging all-out war against the few remnants of normal humanity, determined to wipe out all traces of its emerging civilization. Hero's task was to locate and bring back a lost secret of the ancients, which might save the humans who were ruled by the abbeys. Is it a gun? I bet it's a gun. But his path lay through the very heart of the unknown territory ruled by the Unclean and their hordes of mutated, intelligent, and savage beast followers. And the Unclean were waiting for him. This sounds awesome. Look at it. So yeah, that was my classic sci-fi book haul. I thought it was a very, very, very good book haul. I've got some great ones here. Pardon me, I honestly don't know which one to start with. I'm obviously going to start with Breakaway Station. But then, do I choose the one about the, Red Dawn? Do I choose the bug one? I'm probably going to choose the bug one. But what about this one, about this weird priest sheriff guy? I mean, all of these sound awesome, and I don't know. I am now in a quandary. So I think I'm gonna do a classic sci-fi like November, where I only read classic sci-fi. I think that would be really fun, but we'll see. I'll probably end up going NetGalley, and that'll ruin all those plans. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like that. And yeah, if you've read any of these, no spoilers in the comments, or I will find you and end you. Just like this man.